Hey guys, this is Jeff from Jeff's Vegetable Garden Container. Today we're going to be working on Texas blooming onions. I got a pack of them. If you look down in here, I've already added fresh fertilizers and pot and soil and the stuff I needed to this. It's already had a good base of soil under it. And this is the bed I switch every year. Some years I do potatoes in it. Some years I've done corn in it. Some years one year I did peppers. One year I did, you name it, I've done it. Let's put it that way. And it's a real good bed for me things that I have an awful lot of that have to grow together to put in. Because I can kind of keep it uniform to a point to where I want to plant everything. And I'm right now just smoothing out a little bit the bone meal and the blood meal I added to this. Okay, so I added a little bone meal and blood meal just over the whole bed. Want it to be dirt, light and fluffy soil for these things, right? Eventually it all gets a little bit hard, but so right now we're just a little bit of moisture to that soil, not a lot. I don't want to flood them because we're not that warm out yet anyway. So I think we're in. Let me just check something here, guys. Sorry, I don't have an assistant camera person here. All right, and then there's the knife. Okay. Gotta have a drink, sorry. Cut, man. All right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start laying these onions out. And you want them about an inch into the ground. And we might have a little bit of trouble hearing here soon because this wind they're calling for is gonna be picking up. So what I do is get these onion plants, right, and in a whole group like this, and you can see some of them are pretty good size shape. So like I said, 4 to 6 inches apart, right? So I want to use as much of this bed and as tight as I can everywhere to plant, to get these things in here. Just remember, like anything else, you can plant a ton of stuff. Don't mean it's going to grow, or don't mean it's going to grow as well as you want it to grow. Let me tell you a story. So really, I find always the best way to do this is when I'm doing this is just take like the bald end of a pen, make yourself a little bit of a hole there, right? So these things are supposed to get pretty big. Like I said, you only want them an inch in the ground. That's right where we are right there. Right, get another inch right there. Right? So that definitely gives them the growing place with a little soil around the stems. Then we just keep working our way down. This one we're going to cheat and get 4 holes out of because just the way it ended up working out. And I want to put the best ones in here that I have the most meat on them. Because some of them are so skinny, I don't know if they're all going to make it. So I want to put the ones in here that got the most beef in them, like that one. We got one here. Dave, I'm not an onion eater. I like everything that tastes like onions, smells like onions, cooks like onions. I don't like eating onions, but if onions are mixed into it, as long as they're not raw or I can see them, whew, onions are great. But my wife, kids, they all like onions too, so everybody likes them in one way or another. It's just like a lot of people don't like eggs and tomatoes, but they like all the ketchup products and they like a lot of different things, aka me. Love everything tomato sauces, everything, but a regular tomato, not a shot. It's just me. That's the weird things about everybody. So it's kind of, see if it's small, and I might be able to put that in another container. Yeah, they're too small for anything there. Cover them up a little bit with a little bit of dirt, let them settle in there. Right? Too small. Another nice size one here. Covered up with a little dirt. Just grass away from these things. Like I said, this is preliminary in the garden right now. I'll be bringing the actual potatoes out from the greenhouses and stuff this week, because I got to start getting a lot more stuff in the greenhouses that I can't put out until like second week of May, the way the weather's going. So, and now that they've set in, now that everything's sat in the buckets for a while, or containers, sorry, let me use the proper name, containers, you know, this is much easier sitting here. I know you're not going to be able to see it all, but that thing my wife got is good for sitting straight, but not good for sitting on the edge of it and leaning over when you're almost 62. It just stinks. So I'm just doing the same as I was, put more of these right in the ground. And I'll turn around the other way next time. Sorry about that. Just want to get this done. So, like I said, we're just moving along here with these onions. And I'm hoping, I got plenty of them there, but what I'm saying is I probably won't use them all. I'll probably give some away because you buy them, it's just too many for me or us. Well, I do the same thing with tomatoes, all that stuff. I always grow too much and then give it away, you know that. But either way, you only grow so many onions and use them. But the minute you don't have them, or the minute you think, she says, hey, I need some onions for this thing, you'd be like, oh my God, wish I'd have grown more. And I have plenty of the other ones grown, but they're all in sets that I got, and those sets generally come with smaller bulbs or quicker growing potato. Why am I saying potato? Sorry. Onions. I'm thinking of potato sets, but onion sets when I get them. They're all the same way, but when you get those sets of the smaller onions, they're like getting sets of the smaller potatoes. They normally only get so big. All the years I've done, they only get so big, and then you can kind of fight them to a point to get something out of them and fertilize them. But if a potato, I'm going back to potato now. If a potato is only so big, you're only going to get so big of a potato to grow. You might get a ton of them to grow, but they're all going to grow roughly around the same size of the set. So if you do the little red ones, expect the little red ones, maybe a couple bigger ones, all to come back. That's it. It's not like you're gonna look where you look online and you see somebody say, look at the size of my red onions. It's just not the way it works in the gardening world. All right. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm not gonna bore you any more of this because I got quite a while to get this whole bed filled up. I'm also going to try an experiment this year. With this one, it's a sprouted onion. I know you can't plant. Oh, well, you can plant a whole onion, but you're taking a chance of it doing anything at all. So what I'm pretty much told to do, and where I read about, because like I said, I got to talk to everybody about what they do too, is I pull this little bit of paper off this, whatever you want to call it, cover. And I'm just going to take the top of this old onion she had there. Oh, and dig myself a decent hole here, nothing too deep, maybe inch and a half. And I'm going to put that all in there. And that's about it with that. Then I got to come back and finish the rest of these onions, but I don't want to bore you with a 40-minute video, which always ends up happening by the time I get done talking. So I want to go over and just show you where not the success, that's the wrong word, not even rapid. What's the right, don't ever get old. The status of the greenhouse and the way everything's growing in there from where you saw it like a week ago 2 weeks ago when I started moving stuff into this week, the bushes, everything that's in there is pretty much growing pretty doggone good right now, and I just want to give you a quick look at that. And then when I'm all done with this, after I'm done putting these onions in, I'm going to put a head of purple cabbage in here too while I'm here. When I'm done putting all these onions in, it looks like we'll have 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, probably about 75 onions or 70. Yeah, 70 onions. When I'm done putting them in here, I'll have leftovers, so I'll get, like I said, give them to somebody else, they don't go waste. And then we'll just go from there. I'm going to plant some cabbage down that end. And remember, when you got beds like this, or even buckets, I never put the same things in the same buckets without reconditioning the soil and doing things over, or changing the dirt a little bit in here, and then going with a different product. So if you put tomatoes or cucumbers or whatever you put in here one year, and you put them in next year or within the next 2 or 3 years in the same spot and forget, they'll grow, but they will not prosper like they want to, because the soil, pH, everything has to change, and it won't change that quick with soil if you don't amend properly the way it has to happen. So I'm going to let you go from there, except for showing you this greenhouse real quick. Sorry, real thirsty. Just check something here real quick. Yeah. Check this. Don't mind me, I'm going to pull you off this camera here. And pull you off this camera here. There we go. And I'm going to bring you over here because I just want to show you something. It's funny. My wife said, well, how much stuff do you need to get from Lowe's to get your garden done and to get your work? And I'm already through 30, 40 bags of stuff too, but if you want a garden that's not all weeded and nasty, there's my big trailer, and you can see it. That's over 2 tons of stuff. Some of it's mulch, some of it's peat moss, some of it's garden soil, some of it's cow manure, you name it, potting soil. And so in the last year or two, I put a new peach in and got it going, a new apple and got it going. So now I got a new peach and an apple I'm going to put in today or tomorrow, so they can each fertilize off each other, because they will produce. I've proven it here before, but if you only got one of them, generally they only produce once or twice and then kind of die. You got to get everything, the bees and the bugs, going in between them all. And then I got one of these little bushes out front, like a year or two ago, kind of like them, and I got another one. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it right now, and it's kind of flipped on me because, as you can see, if you were to stand in this acre of ground right now, you would say, you're a dumbass, Jeff. You're putting in too many plants and bushes. You drive me out of my mind. And I do. I have them everywhere. You might not see them with leaves on that, but I have them everywhere. It's entirely difficult to grow, cut grass around here and do all this stuff, but I like it, so that's the way it goes. Just a lot of work. And I just wanted to show you here, look at that bingo. Look how well that red bucket right in the middle there, that was the raspberry bush, was dead last week. There's the orange raspberry. Then you can see the grape right behind that. You can see the onions that I just put in. All these potatoes and all these squashes. The onions back here, if you look way back in the back, that back bucket, that's garlic growing. Everything, just these 4 potato buckets in the middle here are strawberries are coming. It's just them 4 main potato buckets I just did, and they take a little bit longer than others to come up when you're doing it. And you really can't see inside this thing. You see the white thing, but that's just all potatoes I got in there, and they're all doing fine. They're not sitting directly in the frost. But I'll be bringing all of that out of here, like I said, in the next week or two. I'm putting that in the garden, so I got to make some room. But here in the compost, my wife dumped a bunch of stuff in there the other night. I just wanted to show you. I just threw some old potatoes and different stuff in there. You can see that's a potato grown right there. That's potato. That's a tomato grown back there. So they're all grown in here, and I've heard this and seen this before with these things. You're not even trying to grow them, but they will grow in here. So you get quite a harvest out of these things being all compost. So, but we'll see. You can see where we've had tremendous amount of rain here. You can see where the front of this, the weight of the dirt just pushed everything off, and all I had it was bungeed on there. So I got some heavy duty straps I'll be putting on here today and pulling that back with the shoveling that dirt back up on top, and then strapping that back real tight to keep that from coming back out of there anymore. But I'll get that fixed here in a little bit, but I got to get everything else completed. You can kind of see everything in there when it's kind of aside from this side here a little bit. Plus the overwinter stuff's there, but we're in pretty good shape. Remember, keep prepared, get your stuff in you can as early as you can. Keep an eye on it. You know, I have plastic here in case it freezes. What I'm trying to hold off for, because I always put it in way too early, but you can see half done onion bed there, and the purple cabbage I'll be putting in the end of this. But otherwise, things are going pretty good. All right, guys, put your onions in. Don't forget, potatoes should already be out. Onions should already be out. Any of your lettuces, your cabbages, strawberries, stuff that can take the colder weather, the brachias, whatever they want to call them, should all be out. And they'll do okay. And as long as it's not out and it's 20 every night, or it's dead cold freezing, those things get frost on them, they'll be growing. So it's the time of year to get a hold, because once that hot, if you don't get them out now and get them started and get them growing in May and June, when it's not too bad, when you know how hot it gets around here in this area, it gets desperately hot. It's just like being in Florida in the summer around here in the last 10 years or so. So once you hit mid-July and through mid-August or even September, it's just blistering hot and kills a lot of stuff, especially like cucumbers and melons and stuff like that. So you got to really be ahead of the weather now, but not too far ahead to where you're putting it in stupidly. You can see I've already got a bunch of leaves out here for this bed. I've already got this one pretty much set up, and there's already been the ground cover stuff put on there, the black stuff for weeding there. So this one's ready to go. So I'll be putting all my potatoes in there this year on that side. Otherwise, I'm going to let you go. I'll have a great weekend, and don't forget to go out to YouTube to Jeff's Vegetable Gardening Containers, and like, subscribe, and share. And helps so much when we get that stuff in there. And we're doing real good with subscribers and comments and everything. And I know wintertime it slows down. I know that as a fact, but I still put little videos. I start out in spring and summer, it picks up. But the more there are, the better, and the more we just keep moving with everything, and the more we can provide to you. Okay? Don't forget Facebook. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Pinterest. X. We're on everything out there. So just look it up under Jeff's Vegetable Gardening Containers. You should be able to find us. All right, guys. Have a great day.